Hey, what's up? Let it do, soul fam. Welcome to your spiritual check-in. I am Kat Nicoletta Monroe, for those of y'all who may not know. Welcome to KNM Witchery, or Readings by KNM. I have no idea what to expect today. I was pulled to the Pasta Tarot. So let's have some fun. Messages for the soul fam, whatever it is that y'all need to hear today, tuning in. What does the soul fam need to hear tuning in? We have the 10 of Cups that came out really beautifully. We also have the 10 of Swords. Okay. Then we have Temperance, and I was told to stop shuffling for now. Magician is at the bottom of the deck. I felt this pertinent to mention. So, Ten of Swords, 10 of Cups. It may seem as though you're experiencing almost like an extreme duality. One door is closing and another is opening. The door that is opening is one towards happiness and abundance and emotional fulfillment. You know, it's not always about the material when we're talking about things like success. Matter of fact, we all tend to have a different definition of success. Success, like beauty, is in the eyes and the hands and the hearts of the beholders. And the door that's closing is one that there could be some difficulties coming to terms with, okay? 10 of Swords are mental ploys and entrapments. And it's feeling as though the general situation that I'm pulling into, of course, this is a YouTube reading after all, so precise and concise, KNMWitchery.com, y'all already know. But it seems as though it's an all or nothing type of an experience, you know? Examples of this could mean like a breakup, okay? An ending for you to enter commitment to just yourself or to another. It could be leaving marriages. It could be leaving singledom towards getting into a relationship. But that the part that you're leaving feels quite burdensome. Another example could be moving countries, or even if it's just cities or down the block, you're leaving one household that had once, more than once, rather, in the end, it caused quite a heaviness on your shoulders. And wherever it is that you're moving to now, you are manifesting and thus hoping for naturally. I mean, if that's where the manifestations are leading. We have the Moon card underneath the Magician, by the way. We'll talk about it. Because now it's on my table. There's a tinge of impatience, perhaps. There are ducks that you must place into a row, tending to small details, small things that are feeling very burdensome. There's something about a burden. What's another example? I don't know, perhaps leaving a workplace where you felt a victim to a really bad manager, as an example. Or you just really grew out of whatever it is that you do for work and it's become very burdensome. Like, it's like there's mass resistance in an aspect of your life, to the soul fam tuning in, that you have this like switch, this change, this alteration of reality that is near simultaneous. Like I'm feeling like this is already in plan. It's already in the works. You're already well aware of it. And yet Spirit is still asking you to build trust, to not cry over spilled coffee or milk, as the phrase goes. You can always pour yourself another shot of espresso and keep it moving. And yet the reality of the situation feels as though it's unavoidable. It brings you down. I'm literally seeing a picture of a little vampire. In particular, I'm seeing like the vampire emoji. I don't know why Spirit is showing me that specifically, but perhaps maybe that's just what you're using to describe a particular person. Now I'm literally seeing it in someone's contacts. So did you change someone to the vampire emoji? Y'all are funny. That's funny. Anyways, moving right along. There could have been a manifestation that you put out on a new moon or a full moon, depending on how it is that you rather manifest and utilize your energy. There's something that you had put out. I just put 6 months ago. So could be something that's coming into full cycles. Like it's interesting because when it comes to the 6 month cycle of a moon, it could have been that you had, let's say, manifested something on a Libra new moon. And it's not until there is a Libra full moon 6 months later that this manifestation is coming to light. Now, interesting that I also said Libra. There's no connotation here towards that, but it might have something to do with Libra. Maybe you got Libra in your top 3 or something, or it's about justice. It's about finding balance in duality. It's about something that you are manifesting a great change and transition of in order for you to overcome. Like, I think y'all have been working really, really diligently in finding peace in yourself and building a new aspect of reality, and good old lessons in patience is coming right through. As I'm recording this, all my readings, by the way, are intended to be timeless, but as I'm recording this, it is retrograde season, meaning there's just more than 3 planets in retrograde. I consider that a retrograde season, okay? This requires us to turn more inwards, and therefore our external reality kind of slows down, right? It doesn't directly reflect what's going on within, or our intentions, or all of like the action that we're putting towards something. Just requires a little bit more time or energy or things in the background that we may not even be aware of to take place first, before we see it, before it's tangible, before we can prove and we have the receipts, and we could be like, yes, here is the proof, it's the evidence of my outcomes and my goals coming to life, right? Like, I think you guys are having some of that, you know, but it's not like the ultimate full thing. There's still some things that must be tended to, must be taken care of. And I believe, based on this energy here of the 10 of Swords, it could very well be, yes, it's a lessons in patience, yay us, right? Ugh, as an Aries moon, it's my least favorite lesson, like goddamn. But humanizing your experience a little bit more, and bringing it down to a scale of healing and understanding, and knowing that something is taking its time to manifest, and you're just on that brink of that breakthrough and the actualization of it, right? But like, it's taking its time, and I just heard its toll on you. So some of y'all are really, y'all pushing through this shit, okay? Like, I feel you. But it's taking its toll on you because there's a resistant urge to let go. You might be creating this narrative that, like, as soon as I leave, there will be nothing left. Or like, okay, so I used moving as an example. You could be under the impression that once you leave a workplace or a city, a country, whatever, as an example, that the people that you have been really close to, your friends, your family, your colleagues, etc., that you will completely lose touch with them, you know, when you're just like, oh, I miss them all, and like, I just can't say goodbye, and so I stay for this reason or for this person or for this cause. I'm hearing like I would make it more difficult on other people. That could definitely have something to do with family or work. Maybe even friends. Maybe someone's going through something and like there's that vampire energy, you know? It's like this energy vampire where it's like, yes, you're going through something and you got to go a different direction, but now this individual has become dependent on your input, on your something, and it's difficult for you to now separate yourself, to detach, and you stay for something or someone else, you know, for the sake of this thing working out or for the fear of things not working out. You stay attached to something that has run its course. And this is that narrative, that thought pattern right now that is being asked of you to release. And it's becoming a little bit more difficult to ignore. I mean, you can't ignore an entire bowl of pasta falling onto your head. I just said, ay caramba. You know, like you can't, oh, and your glass is empty and everything. When we are unable, and this is like the sick joke that the universe and the human experience plays on us sometimes, you know, when we're unable to get to the realizations on our own, the external environment will reflect that onto us and be like, this is what you got to learn. And it could come in a form of chaos. It could come in a form of conflict. It could come in a form of he said, she said. It could come in a form of unlucky circumstances or like things just coming up that like just cause like more requirement for you to sit in something. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm just hearing someone go like, what else is there? Be careful what you ask for. And things may roll in threes if you believe in that for yourself. You know, it's like one thing after another. You're like, what else? Again, be careful when you ask that question because you just might be inviting it. The universe goes, okay, well, here's what else. If you're not going to like realize this and let this go yourself, you know, it's a matter of taking the leap. Now, the Fool card hasn't come out yet, but I'm definitely seeing it in my mind's eye here too. It's like it's taking the leap, it's taking the chance, it's the Fool's journey. You know? It's taking the required risk of, well, maybe if I do move, I can still keep in contact with people. And like, I will admit, I'm using that as an example because that was a big one for me too. I shifted provinces. After that, I shifted continents. And I was like, oh my God, like, what about the people that I'm close to? And we've been close, like we're talking all the time, you know, like it's beautiful. And it's heartwarming, and it's something that my ego thought maybe wouldn't actually come into reality. And yet, happiness is right there. Emotional fulfillment is right there, right? Like connection and so what is it that you have to let go of? What is it that you have to learn? I'm getting pulled to the Roast Iconic deck. So this is a very straightforward deck. We're gonna get the lessons that some of y'all need to learn, okay? Ooh, this is not the one that I wanted. I wanted the Rebel deck, but this one's already in my hand, so we're gonna use more than one, okay? What does the soul fam need to learn? We're gonna just rip the Band-Aid on the realizations that are meant to be had right now, okay? What are the lessons for the soul fam? What is the soul fam not seeing? What's the play in patience? Ooh. Okay, so we have empath and stay in your lane. There is a boundary, it seems, that needs to be crossed. And by crossed, I mean like created. You know, like I'm seeing a line being drawn in the sand with a stick. Specifically, I had to say that. I think you're tired of putting in your blood, sweat, and tears into something that is perhaps maybe no longer reaping the rewards or meeting the expectations and goals and wishes that you once had for it. Maybe you could be seeing someone now for who they really truly are and not the potential that perhaps maybe you fell in love with. This could also be about a workplace, you know, some things some situations just run its course, and you look at the situation, you're like, damn, like, look where we started and here I am now, like, exhausted coming into work. I hate what I do. Like, there's a lot of that that's happening right now. It's like this inability to show up authentically as your fullest self, because like it feels as though some of y'all are like deprived, you're tired, you know. So however it is that this is resonating with you personally, please let me know in the comments down below if you're interested in it. But if this is resonating with you in any sense at all, comment like some rain clouds down below, okay? So I can send you some love, some good juju, and some uplifting motivational energy for you to be brave enough to set that boundary, okay? There's something here about staying in your lane. Now, you could want someone or something to back the heck off of you, okay? But just know that boundaries are personal. They start with us. Not only do we enforce them, but we gotta stick 10 toes down in them, even when people push those boundaries or they push those buttons or they just forget. Oftentimes, I mean, shoot, when we're looking about setting boundaries about someone or with someone, you know, we expect the other person to just respect it. Like, I thought I told you I don't want to do this anymore and you keep asking me. It's just patterns, hun. Sometimes people don't even think, you know what I mean? It's like you have to say no a few times for people to get it. So you set a new pattern, so they stop asking you for the same shit all the time that you keep saying, I ain't gonna do it anymore, but then you do it anyways. But then you build more resentment and then get angry about it, and you remind them of the boundary again, and then they cross it again, you know. And sometimes it's intentional, sometimes it's not, okay? Point is though, is you gotta stand 10 toes down in it. You have to be the brave one to take the leap and do that thing, okay? Because hoping that the external reality will reflect that inner work, I think, is what is elongating the time for you to obtain the proof in the pudding and the actualizations of your manifestations, okay? There is perhaps maybe something you really got to feel, okay? You know, because there's like, I mean, there's different tiers, colors here, okay? So this is why I'm saying like blood, sweat, and tears. But it seems as though there is an emotional outrage of sorts that is really coming out at you, maybe time and time again. Maybe that's the thing that's kind of repeating itself, okay? Because like the 10 of Swords energy here, okay, like that's very heavy. That is like, you cannot let something or someone go in your mind, and it's just, it's limerence, it's you just being stuck on something, it's you just replaying the same situations over and over and over again without actually changing narratives, without switching your action towards something, right? And that's how we get stuck in these karmic loops. What else is there? I heard not this stack. I heard red flag, okay? So like there's red flags that you're clearly just not choosing to move away from or set a boundaries with. I think you're conscious of them. I think you know what is wrong with the person, and the expectations that you hold of yourself and others and how you want to be treated and all of that. I think, shoot, if you're tuning into my energy, I know y'all put in that work in yourself, okay? There's zero doubt in me with that statement. And yet the expectation that other people will also have that level of self-awareness, I think, is one of your first mistakes, okay? And sometimes people are aware of their red flags and they still push it out anyways, you know? They're like, it's my personality, it's who I am, I'm unwilling to do the work on myself, and I'm just going to keep radiating this red flag energy until something or someone allows me to change my perspective, right? And that's exactly it. It's waiting on the external reality to change something. So maybe you got to be the external reality in somebody else's experience, but you're the one that has to make that internal shift, you know? And this is where that phrase, the good old phrase that I'm constantly quoting, is that you become the change you wish to see in the world. Good old Gandhi. When we're constantly expecting someone or some things to change, right? Like there's a bunch of different scenarios coming in. So work, love, whatever. Maybe it's friends, someone's being disrespectful to you. Could be family too. I mean, there's a bunch of y'all tuning in. So let me know again if you're willing, or just rain clouds, storm clouds down below so I can send y'all some energetic love. But you already know, you know. The question is what are you willing to do about it, right? Stop expecting somebody else to do something as much as you're asking them to do it. Like, fall back. Fall back. Because you showing up consistently, even with your blood, sweat, and tears, hoping someone will just get the grip and just understand and hopefully change, is causing you that mental turmoil, probably causing you to stay up all night or overexert yourself, you know? Whereas that happiness is right there too, you know what I mean? Like, you already have a taste of it. Again, like, this is like that dualistic nature that I'm feeling within what is that I'm channeling through for y'all today, you know? It's like, it could sometimes be a quick switch, and yet temperance is out here, okay? Like, your spirit team, your entire human experience is telling you to flip it. It's happening for a reason now, for you to let go of something, and you've manifested opportunities. And here's the thing, right? Like, sometimes when we manifest something, this is like the silly human thing that we do. We try to overly control how things are going to work out. Don't worry about the how. By the way, this whole scenario that you're experiencing is part of the how. Okay? This is why I'm saying the universe got a sick sense of humor. But like, you just got to you just got to stay focused on the outcome and the goal, and take the step-by-step natures of how to get there. That's the part that you can control, how you react. You cannot expect everyone and everything else around you to fall suit. Otherwise, we'd all be millionaires. We'd all be going viral by now. We'd all be having like the happiest, go luckiest everything in our lives just because we wished it, right? It doesn't really quite work like that. We're part of the human experience. We got to learn lessons. We have to develop and evolve and change. And you have, yes, I won't take that away from you. And expecting people, places, things, etc. to grow and evolve with you hurts, especially when you recognize that you've outgrown the person, place, and people that you're hoping to take with you, you know? And like, that's the part that you gotta let go of. So what's the tough love? You're giving too many fucks. Give 0. Pull back. Showing up is allowing the disrespect, the exhaustion, the patterns, however they may resonate with you, to continue. This is how we begin to do it to ourselves. It's a tough reality when that hits, but you can help yourself. You can never help another person unless they're willing to help themselves. You know, it's there has to be a co-regulation set in place, and you're the only one that is choosing to regulate yourself, and yet you are allowing dysregulation when you are accepting of people crossing your boundaries because you're not upholding them fully. The other card is they broke your heart. You also got fucked them here, okay? So, you know, accept the red flags. It's not to say that people don't really love you. Sometimes people are unable and incapable to meet and love and care and respect themselves enough and work on their core wounds and all of that to meet you and evolve with you, you know? And so they project and they treat you like shit, and then they bring out the worst in you. Why are you going to stay in that? I mean, what's this card? You do you. Yes, living authentically. Stop trying to change people. That shit never works. Spirit's funny. Right on the nose. It's teaching you patience, authenticity, and boundaries. What lies on the other side, we already know. It's your 10 of Cups. It's wish fulfillment, it's peace, it's happiness, it's what it is that you're hoping for. I keep wanting to do this, you know, so you may be from a country that speaks with your hands. Could be very well why I chose a very Italian deck, but I know that Italians are not the only ones that they use their hands. Get out of your own way, soul fam. That's it. That's the message. Take the leap, okay? It's teaching you patience, so ride it out. Stay open to the lessons at play and become the change. Take the action that you wish another person would take, okay? Inspire people around you that are willing to do that too, to do the same, because sometimes we got to be the trailblazer, you know? Like, there have been many times that I have made the decision to walk away from people only for them to show up down the line saying, you know what, thanks, like, you walking away actually kind of helped me realize a few things, and I treated you wrongly. And guess what? I did the same thing. I fell back into other people and I was like, yo, I did wrong to you. And I recognize that now. And us falling apart and going different directions, like, as hurtful as that was, like, it made me see a few things, you know? So, I mean, maybe I'm sharing this to y'all because you never know what may come back around, you know? And you never know if you are the catalyst. But you got to become the catalyst yourself, you know? Oftentimes, we're given those types of choices in our lives. So choose wisely. That's all I gotta say. I heard my snaps. If you resonate, again, comment any storm clouds down below. Make it rain. I'll send y'all love. Mwah. Give me a like and subscribe if you guys want to tune into any sort of spiritual check-ins to help with your overall soulful evolution with some practical spiritual advice. Y'all know how I do. I am posting more and more frequently now across my channels, so I hope you subscribe and stay tuned. And yeah, if I don't see you in another another video, I do hope to reconnect with y'all again soon. Thank you so much for trusting my insight and for connecting with me today. I'll catch y'all later. Bye, soul fam. Mwah.